Hey, what's up, family, and welcome back to the fourth episode of Sneakerhead Stories. And y'all know what time it is. It's time for the sneaker of the episode, the Air Max 90. The Air Max 90 was designed by Tinker Hatfield and released in 1990, hence the name. Despite being a running shoe, the urban fashion world adopted this silhouette and it became popular in three fashion-driven countries: Japan, the UK, and the USA. Although the OG was a staple, collaborations with designers all over the world are endless. The Air Max 90 is one of our favorites at the show, and we hope you'll rock them for many years to come. Let's go!
My name is Qadir Muhammad. I'm from West Philly's Winfield section. My passion is filmmaking, fashion, and music. So I'm inspired by like Tyler Perry because he started from the bottom. He didn't really have like a big budget studio behind him. He grinded to the top to get to where he was at. And you know, he owned his own studio and everything now. Also inspired by people like Wes Craven. Like I'm a big horror movie buff, so like his movie Scream, it like redefined the horror genre. And then, you know, he has Freddy Krueger and stuff like that. So those are like my two biggest inspirations behind filmmaking. So the films I produced was first I did the Bad Guys series. It's 3 movies, a trilogy with my sister Pearl Handle. It's kind of like Friday meets State Property. It's like a little hood comedy, but it has like a lot of action in it. Then I met Jasmine Good, and then me and her got together and we did a horror anthology called Socio. We did a movie premiere at the theaters, and then we had a little 1-year deal with Amazon, which it did pretty well, and we're working on our next film now. I started to fall in love with sneakers at like the age of 17 in high school. Like I was more so into like fashion, into like the clothes, like the Tommy, the Polo, the Jabots and Rockaware, but then it was more so like, you know, I wasn't really into sneakers like that until like friends and there's different people were just saying like, yo, you got the fly clothes, but you need to, you know, worry about your sneakers. And then I think at that time it was like the Jordan, I believe 17s, the ones that came out in the suitcase. So I was saving up my money to buy those, but long story short, I didn't get them. So I tried to get the Jordan 11s, like this is my first and only opportunity to get them at that time. So I stood in line and tried to get them. This is before raffles and all of that. This is the only time I ever stood in line to get sneakers. They was the tuxedo ones. So once I went there, they sold out my size. I was desperate. I was even going to get a bigger size. They ain't had none left. So then I went on Facebook and I went into different groups. I went on Craigslist. I went everywhere looking. So then finally somebody on Facebook messaged me back and they was just telling me to meet them at this store. So I drove all the way like in the heart of North Philly somewhere. Like I never been down that area. So I went in there, waited in the store. The guy never showed up or nothing. I left. He hit me up like a half hour later, like meet me at the store. So then, you know, my spider senses was tingling. I was like, should I really go or no? But I went, and the guy, I guess he worked at the store. So it was cool. It was like a little poppy store joint, but then I had to do the legit check and all of that. And, you know, my favorite pair of sneakers are the Kobe Easters, you know, the multicolored joints. So I don't have no crazy story to go along with that, but you already know Kobe is a legend. They was hard to go buy, and I had to buy those off a reseller when they came out. Paid a little bit, like $50 over retail for them, but it was worth it. And I rarely wear them. Like I bring them out once in a while, and every time I bring them out, people be like, "Yo, those is crazy. Where you get those from?" But you know, I keep them in the tuck. I try to, you know, the top 3 sneakers on my wish list, I would say, are the Yeezy 700s, the black on black. The up-tempos, the Reggie Miller Jones, not the white and navy, but the black with the lime green. So my number 1 sneaker that I want that I don't own is the Yeezy Boost 350, the zebra stripe colorway. That's the one that I want. I need those, but I'm not trying to pay the super crazy price for them. But I do want them. So if they re-release, I'm gonna get them. If I can get them for the low, I'll get them. Yeah. So my favorite sneaker of all time, it used to be like Jordans, but recently since Kanye been putting out these dope sneakers, I want to say the Yeezy basketball sneakers is my favorite sneaker of all time right now, currently. So when it comes down to the sneaker resale game, has its good parts, but it has a lot of bad parts to it. I'm personally against it a little bit, but I don't know. I'm against it, but I'm for it because sometimes people come through for those sneakers that you need, and then when you build relationships with certain people at Foot Locker, they'll hold them or hide them for you. But on the flip side, that's bad because if I don't have a relationship or know nobody at Foot Locker, I won't be able to get the sneaker I want. And then I had to pay extra. And then, like I said, I never really understood how people stood in line for sneakers until I did it the one time. And then that's why I only did it one time. But the resale game has a good and its bad. I feel like it's taking advantage of people who really want the sneaker. You know, what about us that really want the sneaker so we can really wear it? What's going on, man? It's Philly Celeb, man. Hood's top model, flies to the fly, cool to the cool. And this was my sneaker story.